The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors and I'm your host. But before we get started, I just want to wish my stepdaughter Jessica a happy, heavenly birthday. She would have turned 33 today. Jessica, your mother, Jisiah, David, where everyone misses you so much. I love you, and I promise I'll always take care of Jisiah. You know that. My guest today is one of the Baker boys, David Baker. David, thanks for coming on, man.
Leo?
How you doing?
I'm doing, man. It's doing, as good as you can with this whole
Right. How was the ride
pandemic.
Not
The
bad?
ride down, not too bad, actually. No traffic, really.
Nice.
I said smooth right through. Not too bad.
All right, let's get right into it. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up, the first part of my childhood was in East Freetown, Mass. And then we had moved to New Bedford, and now I live in Rhode Island.
Okay.
It was weird going from like a country area to like a city area at first, but we got used to it.
Nice. Okay. Who's older, you or your brother?
Me.
You're older.
Me.
Now, what? You guys aren't twins. I know that. So,
No, he's bigger, but I'm older.
So what are you? 1 year, 2 years?
He was born in 92 and I was born in 89.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same age as my son. All right. When did you first see pro wrestling? Now that's kind of tricky because your dad was in the business.
Probably when I was in the womb, this
Yep.
guy.
Right.
What was I
right.
supposed
Who's
to
sitting
do?
right off
Yeah,
camera?
yeah.
All right. So obviously, like when you went to your first show, it was obviously an indie show, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
That I can remember anyway.
Right. Do you remember going to your first like WWE show? I know you guys told me about.
No, actually, I don't remember the first time I went to a WWE show.
Right.
Just, recently as an adult going and having fun.
Okay.
Now I just go with my kids because they love it.
Right. Do they love it? Yeah.
Yeah, well.
How many kids you got?
I got 2 kids, 2 boys.
Nice.
Blake and Owen. They're everything to me. They're
What's up, guys?
a big reason why I partially stepped away from the business. So,
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
How old are they?
4 and 6, and I tell you what, it is tough boys. They are tough. They fight, they wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
They just don't stop at
Right.
all. There's balls of energy, but they're boys, so
Right.
I can't really expect much. I mean, I wrestled, and me and my brother duked it out plenty of times. So
Right. Just so you know, man, it gets tougher when they hit about 5th grade because that's when they start to know everything.
Oh, they
I
know
worked
everything
in
now. They
elementary
know
school.
everything now. What do you they think they know? They run that house. I try to run the house, but
Right.
the kids.
All right. Who were some of your favorites when you first started watching wrestling?
Oh my goodness! Shoot. If we're going mainstream, it would have to be Stone Cold, Bret Hart, the major names.
Right.
Not an HBK fan at all.
No?
No. I actually didn't mind when he was a Rocker.
Yeah.
I like the Rockers as
Right.
a tag team, but HBK by himself, I was just not a fan. I think he was just the overhyped man.
Yeah. And he actually
Not saying he didn't have good matches.
Right.
I'm just saying that I just wasn't a fan.
Right.
Wasn't
Plus,
my
he
cup
was a
of
real
tea.
jerk to all the other guys, too,
So
from what they say.
So they say, yeah.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, man, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, his eyes started going this way, though.
I think that was-
I don't remember that, like, when he was younger.
It was probably, TV tricks. No, I'm just kidding. Well, he's getting older, Everybody
Right.
gets older at some point.
Yeah, believe me, I know that. How old were you when you knew that wrestling was something you wanted to do?
Forever.
Really? Yeah.
yeah. I can't think of a time I didn't want to wrestle.
Right.
Pops made me hold out till I was 15.
Yeah.
But I was trying to wrestle before that. I mean, I had been to a couple trainings here and there as a kid,
Yeah.
doing suplexes and hurricane runners off the top rope when I was like 10 years old. But
No kidding.
yeah, so, but no, Pops wouldn't let me start training until I was about 15, but I've always wanted to wrestle. It's just always something. I mean, I've been doing it my whole life.
Right.
This guy's been doing it his whole life pretty
Yeah.
much. Well, my whole life.
Right. Now, he trained you, your dad trained you. Anyone
Yeah.
else help?
Well, Nick Steele helped, Ash helped, Steve Langer helped.
Yeah.
And obviously all the vets from back in the day helped out a lot. You
Right.
know, being able to work with a lot of them helped me a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, I appreciate all of them for it. And the only thing I ever really wanted out of wrestling was to wrestle all my heroes from, you know, Yankee
Yeah.
Pro and South Coast when I was a kid.
Right.
That's all I ever wanted to do. I never wanted to go to WWE, really. I had thoughts of it when I was younger, you know, when I was a lot skinnier. But yeah, in my early 20s, I did think about, you know, do I really want to make it? But I never drove to want to make it.
Right.
It
You
wasn't
just weren't
like that.
happy
I
just
was
wrestling
having
around
fun.
here.
I was having fun. I
Right.
just wanted to have fun, and I felt like if I made it my job, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Right. Well, you brought up Nick Steele. I met Nick once, and I swear to God, the guy couldn't have been like nicer to me and stuff. What a great guy.
He's bullheaded, but he's growing up around him. It was different when I was younger because he was always hard on us, but it was all out of love. I know Nick's a good guy.
Right.
He got a bad rep a little bit, but that's no here nor there. But
Right.
Nick's a great guy.
Why don't you tell us about your first match?
Oh my God, my first match. Okay. So I actually I did an 8-man tag and then a battle royal afterwards, which that's a funny story too. The 8-man tag was Rob Hagan, Fantastic Frank, Moko, and Johnny Nash versus Kahuna, Huey. What was the other one? It was Kahuna, Freight Train.
Yeah.
And me. And I'm a little 15-year-old kid.
Right.
Well, I was about 16, but I was only, 5'8" at the time. Now I got these guys that are 3 times the size of me as my partners.
Right.
And obviously go in there, they tried to let me shine, but I was so green, I didn't know what I was doing. So and Moko put me up and I tapped out to a torture rack in my first match ever.
What about the battle royal?
Oh, the Battle Royal. I got ribbed hard on the Battle Royal.
Did ya?
Yeah.
They tell you were gonna win?
No. It was actually worse and it was funnier because they didn't tell me that. Freight Train, who I had never met before.
Right.
I obviously had seen him wrestle, but
Yeah.
I'd never met him before. All the guys were telling me that he was super stiff and he was mean and to stay away from him in the Rumble. And, well, being the green guy, every time he came near me at the Rumble, I walked to the other side of the ring. And then when he finally splashed me, he gave me a good splash for avoiding him. But yeah, they ribbed me and told me that he was
That's
one of the
awesome.
meanest guys. And then come to find out, Freight Train's a really nice guy.
You were scared. The
Oh
whole
yeah,
time.
I'm 15 years old. I got
right.
everybody telling me he's mean. What am I supposed to do?
Right. All right, let's get into some fan questions. Daniel Baker. Who's your favorite Baker and why is it me? Is it really him?
No, it is me. That's
No.
yeah.
I said-
No. You said why is it me? Like he said it, but no, it is me.
He's saying that you're his favorite Baker.
No, he's saying he's his favorite. I'm his. Sorry. He is saying that he is my favorite, but I am saying that I am my favorite.
All right. Sorry there, Daniel.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Great guy, man.
I'm gonna have to come see you for a tattoo, though. I am gonna come see you for a tattoo.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'm just financially not there right now.
I have no tattoos, but if I ever get one, that's what I'm going to
I got one tattoo.
Do you? Yeah, he's a great guy. Dave Fournier, my friend Dave, says, what was it like growing up as the son of Brickhouse Baker?
Who's that guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
No. Honestly, I'm not the son of Brickhouse Baker. I'm the son of Mike Baker.
Yeah.
And he treated me as so. He was, I know, I'm going to get a little mushy on you, Pop. He's my hero.
Right.
He really is. He's my hero. No matter what I wanted to do, no matter what I wanted to be, no matter what any of us kids wanted to do, he stands right there beside you. He helps you. He pushes you. He'll support you any way he can. If you're down and out, you can call him. He's always there. He's always been there for us. Nice. And like I said, he's not Brickhouse to me. He's nice. Pops, and he's my best friend.
Awesome.
Easily my best friend.
Great answer. Dave also wants to know, what is your most memorable match?
Oh my God. There's too many. You can't put one memory.
You got a couple?
Yeah, I got plenty actually. Shoot, I've been wrestling 16 years consistently, and at first I was wrestling, 4 shows, 5, 6 shows a month,
Yep.
and so there's a lot of matches. I can't tell you that one in particular that stands out, thanks to Pops and Redemption. I did a 55-minute street fight with Scott Levesque, and He's over there laughing at me. So we did the go home, and Derek didn't come because they said to wait. So we kept fighting. We did the go home, and Derek said that's the go home, and they said no, let's keep waiting. 55 minutes, no word of a lie. Wow. It might have been 57 minutes.
Right.
But 55 minutes, me and this guy are beating each other with kendo sticks. It's a street fight. We're on cement, so everything we do on the outside hurts twice as much. We were literally, we did it at the whatever mark it was. I said, Tony, I said, I'm not getting up.
Right.
I said, I'm staying right here. I said, I don't care if you win. I said, I'm done.
Right.
But yeah, we were blown. But anytime I stepped in the ring with Pyro, Pyro and Davey, the Hoods, they're the best tag team I've ever wrestled, hands down, and still killing it.
Right.
Obviously, memories with Pops. Anytime I got to wrestle my brother, it sucked for the most part, so I don't remember those. No, I'm just kidding. But no, me and my brother, when we go against each other, we just don't mesh. We had like 2 good matches. 1 match, Pops booked. October 2nd, and an outdoor show, and we're barefoot. My feet were numb after the show. After my match, I literally ran to the locker room and wrapped my feet in towels and shirts because they were numb.
Cold,
I couldn't feel my feet anymore. Right. My brother comes back and we're wrapping his feet because his feet are numb. It was so cold. But that was our best match.
Nice.
And it was awesome. So, thanks, kid.
And it's funny you brought up the Hoods. They just won the New World Wrestling Extreme Tag Team Championship Saturday night. I was at the show.
Yeah. They could win all the belts in the world. I beat them for all the belts that they've won. So,
Dave has one more question. Will we ever see you in the ring again?
Never say never, but right now, no.
Okay.
Probably not anytime soon either.
All right. I got one. Next question is from a former opponent of yours. Evan Hatch, Evan 6.
Oh, God.
If you had one more chance to have one of the best matches in your life, besides me in the Twizzlers of Doom match.
Oh, I'll tell you about that, too.
All right. Who and what would it be?
If I had to have one more match, it is literally me and my brother versus the Hoods in a steel cage anywhere. Nice. I don't care where. I don't care when. I don't care how. I've never done a steel cage. And those 2 guys, we have done everything. Me, my brother, and them. My Pops too. We've done everything with them.
Right.
I have never been in a cage.
So
and that was one match that I've always wanted to do. It almost happened twice, but things happen.
Yep.
So, but aside from that, I would come back and I would hurt myself to wrestle them guys in a cage.
Nice. Awesome. What the Twizzler of Doom match? What was that?
All right,
Twizzlers of Doom match.
So we wrestled in Nauset Middle School in Cape Cod.
Yep.
And we had a street fight, and we're fighting all around the arena.
Right.
I landed on the bleachers next to a pack of Twizzlers that was somebody's, so I picked one up and I started jabbing him with it. I shoved it in his mouth as a gig.
Yeah.
He started bleeding. His mouth was all bleeding. So he got cut open the hard way by a Twizzler.
Wow.
So now we got to do a Twizzler of Dooms match. He's hard, but he's a good dude.
Yeah, he is, man. He used to scare me, man, when I used to see him wrestle.
I earned his respect
dude.
I earned his respect. I wasn't given to me. I earned it from him.
Right.
So, and he's the type of guy you have to earn it.
Right.
So.
All right. I hope I say this kid's last name right. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but Ben Cassieri.
Ben, shut up, Ben. Just shut up, Ben.
How was it chopping?
Ben, just shut up, Ben.
How was it chopping Keith to death at TCW? I don't know.
All right, so Keith is my brother-in-law.
Okay.
He said he wanted to try wrestling, so we brought him into wrestling. He trained. He wasn't great at it, but he kept coming.
Right.
And anybody that keeps coming, you get your due eventually.
Yeah.
And AJP and his buddy Coco were running a show, and they didn't really have nothing, and I was somewhat hurt at the time. So they had nothing for my brother-in-law.
Right.
I said, listen. I said, all right, kid. I said, I can't really wrestle. My back's out. I said, I'll go in there and we'll do something. I said, I don't want you to get shied out of this match.
Yep.
It was his last match, but with good too. But to be able to slap the crap out of him legally, amazing.
Right.
But I tell you what, if it ever came down to a real fight, it'd be different with him because he's a tough kid.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a tough kid. He looks scrawny, but he's a tough kid.
All right. Chad Epic, your dad being attached to so many names in New England, have you ever thought about being a trainer yourself?
Yes and no thanks. I don't mind going to a training and helping.
Right.
But I couldn't run a class. I'm not really good at the talking. I've said about 50 times in this thing already.
Listen, I've been doing this for 5 years, and I say all the time.
Yeah.
So.
It's like you need that pause, and instead of saying nothing, you say like a dummy.
Yeah. Always.
But yeah, so now I'm gonna catch myself saying yeah. Chad Epic, I am not as good on the mic as he is.
Right.
And never will I be. So.
He is good on the mic, that's for sure. All right. Emilio Bullet Estevez. Is that Bullet Joe?
Oh my God, Albert.
Is that Bullet Joe?
Albert, that's squirrel nuts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what does he got to say?
He says, why does Devin wear Hawaiian curtains for shirts?
He does, it's weird.
Better yet, why aren't you wearing the same shirt too? Hashtag greatest tag team to never happen.
Yeah, well, here's the thing is, would you wear a shower curtain looking shirt?
Yeah, no.
Me neither. No. His shirts are weird. Like, he has like tablecloth shirts. It's weird.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's weird. My brother's weird, but that's my brother, and I love him for it. So.
All right. Last question. Brian Cornell Jr.
Oh, that's my cousin. He lives in Florida now, you stupid Floridian.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to kind of...
Yeah, I got you. He swore.
Why are you such a DB stop hurting Deshaun Concierto?
Oh, hot shot. That's hot shot. That's hot shot.
Thank you.
Oh, well, no. He's being a jerk.
Is he?
Yeah.
Brian, you're a jerk.
Yeah.
You're a jerk, Brian.
He is my lifelong best friend.
Is he really?
Yeah, he just moved to Florida and he misses me a lot. That's why he had to say something.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't have moved to Florida, dummy.
You can call him every name in the book. He's your best friend.
Yeah. He called, that DB.
Yeah.
That's my initials.
Right.
I got called that a lot in the locker room, and it just traveled through all my friends.
Right.
And now everybody calls me a DB. And now I just announced myself as the DB.
Right.
So, but yeah, something happened. It was very personal with Deshaun. Yeah. That's all squashed.
Good.
There is no hard feelings. Mama still hates me a little bit, but I'm sorry, Mama.
It is what it is. All right, so before we play the name game, let's just talk a little about your career. You know, what was the first promotion you worked for?
Yankee Pro Wrestling.
Yankee Pro,
yes, it was, and that is something that a lot of these guys today cannot say.
Right.
And that was the company I grew up in. You know, I know it was NEW beforehand, but my memories go back as far as Yankee. I watched it transform in the top rope. Not saying top rope is a bad place to work, because it's not. Right. But it's not Yankee to me.
Yeah.
Yankee was all guys that I grew up with, you know, thanks to Pops and all the other guys. I mean, right. I've known, you know, the guys, Redemption, Foster, you know, Ash, Jose for 20 plus years because of that. And those are the guys that I idolized. It wasn't WWE that I idolized. It was those guys, the Big Rick Fullers, you know, the guys that came in and were, you know, I got to see Scott Taylor wrestle.
Right.
You know, I got to see Steve Bradley. Steve Bradley is a great wrestler. He got shafted in the business too. Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. But those were the guys that I idolized. That's who I wanted to wrestle. That's what I wanted to do in wrestling, was wrestle those guys. And you know, I almost got to wrestle Mav, but you know, something happened. You know, he got hurt, and we told him to stay home. I said, if he's going to be hurt, I don't want to hurt him. You know, he's got a family and stuff. You know, he's got a job. So, But there's quite a few people that were on the list. You know, I tried to wrestle Gino Giovanni, but you know, hiding under a rock. Whenever you decide to come back out, hit me up. You know,
dude, got a lot of heat. That kid.
Not from me.
Not from, but a lot of other people.
That's fine. Not for me though.
You didn't mention a guy that I really liked from Yankee Pro, Frankie Armadillo.
Frankie Armadillo. So, all right. So, I don't know Frankie Armadillo like that. I did get to watch him wrestle a lot in SCCW, but I don't really know Frankie like that.
Okay.
It's I like I said, I just really got to see him wrestle. I didn't really get to meet him, you know.
Right. Well, I'm just saying that because I went to one Yankee Pro show and he wrestled twice that night, and we gave him like hell, and he was really like, I'm serious, like he was really mad, and I was joking with him saying, you know, you want to lose 3 times, we'll go outside right now, and he was so mad, but I always did like Frank. He took it like a champ. He was mad though. Now, from there, where did you go? What company did you work for after that?
It turned into Top Rope while I was
Yep.
still there. So
Okay.
then it was Top Rope. After that, I had, ventured out. I had wrestled for a couple of shows here and there. NECW.
Yep.
That was when I was younger, tagging with Pops. Got to wrestle Bobby Fish.
Nice.
Was on a show with Claudio Castagnoli versus Pepper Potts.
Oh,
So there was a lot of
Yeah.
bigger names on the shows that I
Right.
was wrestling, and I was only 17, 18 years old, and I'm wrestling on shows with guys that are either now in WWE
Yeah.
or have passed through.
Right.
So it was pretty cool there. After I had left Yankee Top Rope, I had moved to this little hole in the wall, ACW,
Yep.
for Dave Oliveira. I hate you. That was fun.
Yeah.
We had it was like the Yankee Pro rejects
Yeah.
were all going there. So it was like, all right, cool. And, so me and Brandon Webb, we were
Yep.
best friends, road buddies. We started going to hang out at the shows, and then we started seeing Pyro there. Pop started going there. Chunk Candido was going there, you know. But there was names, Fantastic Frank. Who else was there? I don't know. There's a bunch of guys. That's where I met Chris Cruz, one of my best
Yep.
friends. He's one of my best friends. Yeah, so the first shows I was doing there was about 8 paid people tops.
Right. Like the ACW one?
Yeah. At the soccer center in Somerset,
Okay.
where Jose had wrestled Joe.
Samoa Joe, yeah.
So
Yep.
that arena was where ACW was when I went there.
Right.
And then we had moved to a soccer center in New Bedford. We were getting crowds of 300 plus people, 400 people almost. It felt like it was. We were having great shows, and we had good cards with good wrestlers.
Right.
And we didn't really kick out any of the ACW guys. They were just quitting on their own.
Yeah.
And they just had hatred towards us for trying to help them.
Right.
But ACW then turned into WCW.
Yep.
But I wrestled a lot of companies in between. Anthony Green was booking a show when he was 13. I was wrestling on.
Really?
Yeah. He introduced me to my wife pretty much.
Oh, cool.
She was on a show. We actually had met through Paul Lazon shows. We
Yep,
were doing
I remember
Lethal
Paul
Pro. And then we were at BCW, Bay State.
Yep.
We were at Bay State. And the guys she was supposed to manage didn't show up. So she had nothing.
Right.
And I looked at her and she was wearing black and red. And me and my brother are wearing
Right.
black and red.
Yep.
I was a single guy. I was like, hey, AG. I said, she's coming out with us. And he goes, sounds good.
Nice.
And now we're married.
With
we're
two
raising
kids.
We're raising 2 kids together. So she's a tough ball and chain, but I love her anyway. I know. I may not seem like it sometimes, but I do.
I got to ask you, because you said you working for NECW, and Claudio Castagnoli was on the show and stuff. And you watched.
Yeah, Max Bauer was young. Alex Arion was there. We there was a whole bunch of guys there that were top tier talent. DC and Eddie were tagging there.
Sabotage. They were awesome.
It was amazing. It was.
Did you get to work them guys at all?
I did not. We did not. I did get to wrestle Matt and Kyle there.
Yep.
With Brandon. That was pretty fun. Me and Pops wrestled in a tag tournament, wrestled against the Wild Boys.
Yep.
What the
Billy
hell's his
King?
name? Yeah, Billy King.
And Steve something. No, what? No. Was
I
it
don't
Steve?
remember
I know
his name.
Billy King was one of them.
I don't remember his name.
I can't remember the other guy.
I don't remember the other guy's
Sorry,
name.
buddy.
It was a long time ago.
Right.
It's like I said, I can't tell you everything because I don't remember. You can tell me names that I don't remember on that list.
Right. What I think is funny though is NECW, you watch the product now like WWE and stuff with your boys.
Sometimes.
I don't
Not
understand how they haven't put a world title on Cesaro, Claudio. I mean, that guy is a workhorse.
I don't get it either because that guy is awesome.
Yeah.
He can mesh with anybody.
Right.
And he's proven it.
And he's gotten over every place he's ever worked immediately.
But he's probably not selling.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
It's probably merchandise selling and stuff like that.
And I think he's a foreigner. I think Vince likes guys that can speak English, you know what I mean? Without an accent.
Pretty much. Seems like that.
Right. So then, eventually, you ended up working for your dad when he started up House of Bricks.
Oh, yeah, that was a tragedy at first. No, because I was helping him, do the books at first. I actually quit after the second year. Actually, I might have quit midway through the second year because me and that guy booking butt heads like crazy.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm done. I said, I can't do it with you no more. I said, I'm sick of arguing with you about stuff because I would tell him something and he would say, oh, no, that's stupid. And then 2 days later, he'd hit me up and be like, oh, we're doing this. I said, yeah, that was my idea. No, I just came up with it. This wasn't your idea. I was like, all right, we're done. I'm done. No more.
Right. Now, were you on the last show that he ran?
I did. I was.
Yeah.
Actually, I was in the main event with Foster.
Yep. Michael Foster.
Yes. That's Uncle Mike to me. Uncle Mate. Yeah, that was a blast. And they wanted to put me up, and I said no.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice.
I said no. And the reason why is because I don't want to be the guy that, oh, it's your dad's company.
Right.
But then when I didn't do it, I had all the vets come up to me. Oh, why didn't you take it? It's your dad's company. And I'm like, you know why I didn't take it? Because it's my dad's company.
Right.
Why do I need it? I don't need it.
Right. And
I had the satisfaction of wrestling a guy that is literally my uncle of the business. Like,
Right.
and Pop said many road shows with him where he was coming to my house and wrestling in my living room. I don't know if there's video proof, but I remember him singing Love Stinks on a karaoke machine in my living room. Who else can say that? Nobody. Right? Nobody. So having Foster in the ring, last match, House of Bricks, I wouldn't ask for better.
Nice.
Honestly.
Now, how sad was the locker room after when you guys all knew it was, that
Sad?
was the last show?
Not so much sad.
Okay.
Somewhat relieved. Dropped my phone. Forget my phone.
It's all right.
Somewhat relieved. It's a lot of work to run shows.
Right.
And we did it for 10 years, setting up shows and getting there early and making sure that people on the card show up, people
Right.
sharing the show online. It was getting to be too much work to beg for people to do things, just try to help out. We're just doing charity shows. We're not trying to, we weren't making money.
Right.
We weren't making money. Any profit that came in went to whatever we were doing the show for.
Right.
So, all these guys, oh, what about payday this, payday that? We're doing a charity show.
Right.
You seriously, you can't donate your time for some, we were doing it for Make-A-Wish and stuff. You know? You can't.
That's awesome.
Kids with leukemia, we were doing shows for that. We did the show for the middle school, raised a bunch of money for them so they could have sports and stuff in their school. So it's sad when you have to beg people to do something that should just be out of the kindness of your heart kind of thing. So.
And you had said that the veterans came up and said, why didn't you? Because it's your dad's company. Half of them probably would have said what you said at first if I had won. Did, yeah.
Typical. It's his dad's company.
Yep.
The belts are great.
Right.
Belts are great. If somebody gives you a belt, that means they trust you.
Yep.
That means they confide in you. They think that you are a top worker on the card, which is what we all strive for.
Yes.
It's not necessarily the belt that makes the person. And shit, every belt I ever won, I lost, except for a couple that the company shut down after I won. But, but yeah, a belt it's an accomplishment.
Right.
It is. But having multiple belts means you lost that belt multiple times.
Very true. Very true.
So,
we're gonna go into the name game, but I have to ask you about. You wrestled the Nasty Boys.
oh goodness, here we
What
go. With
was
this
that
now.
experience like? Seriously, because I met Brian Knobs once.
So
and he's
when
a crazy dude.
when Matt and Kyle and Evan and all the NECW crew watched that part, they're already laughing.
Are they?
Yeah. So we're in the back and we're talking to the Nasty Boys about what we're doing.
Yeah.
What's going on. And my wife's calling me off the hook. And I was like, I'm not answering. I'm talking to these guys. I'm not going to answer the phone. So we're talking about it. We get to the go home. She calls my brother. Texts my brother. My brother opens his phone, starts texting back. Well, the guys are talking to us about the finish. So they flipped out.
Did
well,
they?
I can't even say they. Brian Knobs flipped out because
Right.
that's Brian Knobs.
Yeah.
So Brian Knobs is, oh, yeah, if you this, how about, I swear.
Sorry,
I said F-bomb.
He'll delete it. We're not live.
Yeah.
He'll delete it.
He goes, if you forget what you're doing, I'm going to beat you down, blah, blah, blah. Like, going to shoot on us in the ring. And now me, I'm like, I'm not going to go in there and take his crap.
Exactly.
So I'm going to have to fight Brian Knobs in a minute. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, man, my brother, I had to open his phone, blah, blah. It's like, I'll take the heat from the wife, kid. Like, just you can't answer your phone.
Better heat from her
but,
at the time,
But in his
right?
defense, though, he was really green at the time.
Was he?
Yeah, he didn't like... He wasn't involved with wrestling like I was growing up. He didn't actually like it. He wasn't a fan. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it until like his 20s, really.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, that's when he really started pushing himself.
Yep.
It was like when he turned like 19, 20 years old was when he really wanted to do it.
Right.
And, he was still green. He was only maybe a year in the business, maybe two. So He didn't understand. He didn't know what he was doing wrong. But the fact that, they're yelling, all the boys are laughing at us now because, Brian Knobs and Jerry Sags are pissed because my brother answered the phone while we're talking about the match. We walked away, and now I'm sitting in the corner like, oh my God, I'm really going to have to go fight these big guys.
Right.
And I was a smaller guy then, but I wasn't afraid. You got to stand up for yourself. I guess, the guys all talked to him, let him know what's going on. We went out there. We had a good match. Yeah. We didn't know, no botches, no nothing. And Sags let us hit him with the cane, blah, blah, blah. And then, we did Pity City and then, the go home, blah, blah, blah. And we had a good match. And everybody was cool from then on out. But it was just funny that Brian Knobs was literally reaming my brother in the locker room for a good 10 to 15 minutes. It was a long 10 to 15 minutes.
Right. All right, like I said, we'll get into the name game now. I'm just going to throw names. I have so many names written down. I'm going to say some that I'm not familiar with and a lot that I am familiar with, okay? I want to start it off with the guy that gave me crap about 2 hours ago because I didn't tell him I was going to be in Rhode Island Saturday. Kid Crazy.
Kid Crazy. Oh, Jared. I have nothing bad to say about Jared. He's a very straightforward guy if anybody's ever talked to him.
Absolutely.
He does not care about your opinion. He only cares what he thinks.
Yep.
And that is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. He's always been a straight shooter to me. I actually wrestled him twice, both times on the fly. The first time I was only like 16, 17 years old, wrestling for Tommy D, PLW. Okay, yep. And we were at some little elementary school in Pawtucket or Providence, one of the two. And we did a whole match on the fly. He says, go to the top and do a high cross, and that was the finish. So that's all we did. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. He's just crazy.
He's
literally crazy.
Yes, he is. But he was a good worker.
Yeah.
Very good worker.
So anything I watched from back in the day of his work, and I'm like, this dude was actually really, really good back then. Like, it's everybody gets older, but he was really good. Yeah. He knew his shit.
He sure did. I seen a match him and Mav had for Jeff Costa, and I'm telling you, man, it was probably the best match I seen Jeff at a Jeff Costa show, other than the one I told you guys about earlier when Luna Vachon took on Malaya Hasaka. Doc Ozone.
Doc Ozone. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? Doc is cool.
Yeah,
I have nothing bad to say. Nothing but love for you, brother. Nothing but love.
One of my favorite tag teams, and they're from my hometown. I'm originally from Lowell. I live in Nashua now. But the Middlesex Express, Stephen Broad and Stephen Lust.
Chud 1 and Chud 2. Listen, I didn't like those guys at first.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you that. I was yelling at this guy for booking them.
Was it because they weren't trained?
They were just awful. They were awful. Yep. And I had watched them at multiple shows at the time, and they were awful. And I was like, why are you booking these guys? And Pop seen something in them that I didn't see.
Right.
And you know what? They got consistently better.
Yeah.
They are one of my favorite tag teams to wrestle with.
Right.
I'll wrestle either one of those guys anytime. They don't get the credit they deserve.
Right.
At all. I know they're smaller guys, but they don't. They work great.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal, and I'm kind of sorry I ever hated them to begin with because I got to know both of those guys, and both of those guys are like brothers to me. I made one of them poop the pants one time. It was a shoot.
Was that Stephen Broad?
Yes, because he's Chud too. Yeah. Because of that.
Right. It's funny because Stephen Lust actually knows like my kids and stuff, and my ex and all that, like my older kids.
Yeah.
I talked to these two guys Saturday night. Insane Dick Lane. We'll go with him first.
Insane Dick Lane. Listen,
he's taller than I thought too, man.
He actually is tall.
He's a tall dude, yeah.
Listen, Dick Lane is one of my hidden partners. Yeah. I had a couple of tag matches with him, me and Dick Lane. I think they call this Baked Dick. I swear, it was so stupid. It was so much fun.
Right.
We were actually wrestling The Influence. It was, I don't know, was it The Influence? Or what were they at the time? I'm pretty sure it was The Influence. I could be wrong. It was Jason Devine and Ricky Medeiros.
Okay.
And we were feuding with them for their tag belts and blah, blah, blah. And we did this thing where we ran in afterwards after they beat a team. We ran in there with chairs.
Right.
And, I got the nod. So I said, okay, threw it nice and good at the guy, bang, bang, boom. I ran over to Dick. I said, you got to throw that chair. He's like, what? I said, yeah, man, I threw mine. You got to throw yours. He runs across the ring like this and hucks this chair at Ricky Medeiros so hard. I thought Ricky Medeiros was going to go to the hospital. I thought he was done. Thank God he put his hand up because, oh my God. But Dick Lane is an amazing human being. He's a great dude. He's laid back. He's cool. He's chill. And he is a nerd.
He's a nerd, yeah?
Yes.
Well, I was talking to him and another kid they both want to come on the show. I'm going to send him some dates. AJ Phoenix, AJP.
Oh, who cares about that kid? Such a garbage can, that kid. No, all right. So I watched AJP wrestle Hulk Hogan. No, not really Hulk Hogan.
Right.
It was a stuffed Hulk Hogan, like the beat 'em buddies or whatever.
The best buddies
Yeah,
or
whatever they were
the
called.
buddy dolls.
Yeah. So I watched him wrestle him when he was like, I don't know, 5 years old in his dad's ring, so to watch that and then to watch him wrestle like Gino when he was like 13, I know they don't like to speak of it, but when, I saw this potential. His dad's been around the business forever.
Yes.
He's the smartest, dumbest kid I ever met. He really is. AJ is so smart, it's crazy.
Right.
He's got a great head on his shoulders. He's just something wrong with that kid sometimes. But he's a good kid.
Yeah.
And he has only gotten better. And I watched him have a match with Ben.
Yep.
BC kid.
Your brother-in-law.
And it was phenomenal.
Nice.
And that right there, I knew he's got it. He's good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential. He's young.
He's
18,
so
19
young. He's so
years
young.
old. I mean,
but even if he doesn't do the wrestling thing, that kid is so smart. He's going to figure out real life. He's going to be successful in real life.
That's awesome. Donnie Rotten.
Oh my God.
Donnie Rotten.
Oh my God. Donnie Rotten. Donnie Rotten. The memories of Donnie Rotten. He has not changed at all.
He looks like he stepped off a hairband stage.
For real. He's the 80s guy, and that's that. He belongs in, a glam band. But Donnie is awesome. I wrestled Donnie. I got to wrestle Donnie. That was actually fun, Donnie. Thank you. It was me and Devin versus Pat Garrett and Donnie Rotten. And damn, Donnie, he called like 700 spots. And I'm like, Donnie, I said, we can't do all that.
Yeah.
I said, there's no way, right? So he's trying to do like these Queen Angeletta rows with my brother in the parking lot. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? He's doing the spider stretches and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, I saw this Japanese guy do this. And I'm like, calm down a little bit. So Pat's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I said, listen. They're like, what? I said, whatever Donnie says to do, we're going to do it. We're going to have fun.
Right.
He's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, Donnie knows the finish. That's all that matters. I said, whatever Donnie calls, we're doing it. It's going to be fine. We went out there, had a fun tag match.
Yep.
I had a blast. Donnie is absolutely awesome. Anytime I've stepped in the ring with Donnie, he always does something crazy and always makes it entertaining. At one point, he was arguably the most over guy in House of Bricks.
Right.
Easily one of the most over guys in House of Bricks. Nice. It was absolutely insane. Donnie is talented, very talented. Even at his age now, he is very talented and should work a lot of places.
Nice. You brought up them earlier that Kyle and Matt Storm.
Kyle and Matt. Uncle Kyle, Uncle Matt. Kyle the Stern Jerk. No, I'm just kidding, Uncle. I'm just kidding. Those guys definitely helped me a lot too. When Bloodstone was, Nick Amaral, was running his training down in the south end of New Bedford at the Mills, we had 2 rings there. Okay. So we had, Pops had a class on one ring, and they were taking the more advanced guys, and then we'd swap them, mix them in, and stuff like that. So they were there helping with those guys, and they helped me out a lot, and they taught me stupid things, the drills, how to breathe properly when you're in the ring, and stuff like that. And it helps a lot. It really does. It helps a lot. Know when to go, when to stop. Pops taught me everything I know about wrestling. That's but all those little things that you learn from people that were trained by that guy, that he obviously forgets. So. But he tells me if he teaches me everything, he's going to have to kill me. So
well, plus just a lot of guys sitting in that chair said to me that you can learn from almost anybody, right?
Almost anybody, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, you got to learn. And if you don't learn, then what are you doing? Stupid.
All right, Mistress Belbon. I seen that you had a match with her.
She is a wonderful lady. She is awesome. I miss you. I hope you are doing well. Thank you very much for that battle royal that one time.
She is awesome. I haven't brought this guy up in a long time. Jason Blade.
Jason Blade. So when I first started seeing Jason Blade in training, that kid did swantons. I thought he was going to break his neck every time. But I really don't know Jason Blade closely like that, but anytime I've been around the guy's very respectful.
Yeah.
He's a great worker.
Yeah.
And he could do things that only certain people wishes they could do.
Right.
But Jason Blade's awesome. He's very awesome.
I know he hasn't wrestled in a while, but he definitely refereed for your dad. I haven't brought him up in a long time either. TJ Richter.
TJ Richter. Hi, buddy. What's up, buddy? I call him Timmy because I can.
Yeah.
But he's like a brother. And when I was younger and going to parties when I wasn't supposed to, wrestling business stuff, TJ was always there to help me out if something went down or, something was wrong and he could tell, I could pull him aside and talk to him. But TJ was always fun. TJ's a good dude and I wish him well.
Nice. You said Buddy, so I'm going to just go with Buddy Romano.
But I have no heat with Buddy Romano at all. I know 1.5 billion people do.
Yeah.
But he never did anything to me.
Right.
He never was bad-mouthed me.
Yeah.
I have nothing bad to say about the guy. Anytime he's been around me, he's been respectful.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people have a bad rep with him, but I honestly think he's a great worker too.
Right.
I wrestled in matches with him. Me, him, and Pinky Sanchez did a triple threat match. Didn't call a damn thing. Right. All of us were diving. He dove in a trash can. It was crazy. But Buddy Romano, I have nothing bad to say about.
Nice.
At all.
He was going to come on the show and then he had to cancel, but I'd still like to have him on, even though I know he's not wrestling. So, Buddy, if you're watching, seriously, hit me up.
Yeah, hit him up.
Anthony Stone.
Anthony Stone.
I'm bringing up a lot of names I haven't brought up in a long time.
That is a good brother.
Yeah.
I've been wrestling Anthony Stone since I started.
Right.
Because when I first started, obviously, I was only 16. I was about 5'8", I think. 180 pounds, if that.
Right.
So I was a cruiserweight. So I was wrestling, Pyro and Bloodstone and all them guys that were in the cruiserweight. I beat Billy Brax, a whole bunch of guys that were in the cruiserweight division.
Right.
He is somebody that confides in me as much as I confide in him. Anytime we step into the ring, we have a great match. We beat the ever-living crap out of each other every time. And honestly, I would wrestle him and come out of retirement to wrestle him. At least once.
Awesome. I'm going to bring up a couple of your friends. You said earlier how Brandon Webb.
Brandon Webb, that's my road
Devil's
buddy.
Reject.
That's my brother. He's what broke me into the business, really.
Another real talented guy.
He is amazing and only getting better.
Right.
He's not doing the flippy stuff no more and getting hurt like he does all the time. But Brandon's my brother. He was my road buddy for years. When I first started, when I was setting up rings at 15, 14 years old, he was who I rode with. So he's been, we've been through a lot together. Pops used to tell us we were going out candlelight dinners all the time, but we never did that. We just went to Friendly's and got ice cream.
There you go.
But no, there's too many memories of Brandon.
Okay.
But I love that guy to death. And if he ever needed anything, he can call me anytime, literally anytime.
Another guy that I know you're friends with, Eric Dillon.
Eric Dillon. Well, Eric Dillon and Brandon, that created the Bed Crew.
Okay.
That is what we called ourselves because we were a bunch of young, horny teens like dummies. But we were the Bed Crew, Brandon, Eric, David. That's what we were. We were all best friends. We were all road buddies. We all did the same stuff together. We were always hanging out together. We just did everything together. We were together 6 days a week, even if there wasn't wrestling. We were best friends. That's what we all were. We were all a group. I love Eric Dillon. I wish him the best. I just, it sucks seeing what happened, but hopefully he gets better for himself.
Right. Gary Gold.
Gary Gold. I love you too, buddy. Everybody, he is one of the most fun times I've ever had in the ring.
Yeah.
I loved wrestling with Gary Gold. I have nothing bad to say about him either. I love you, Gary. I miss you, buddy.
All right. Guy from Rhode Island. He puts on the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Mr. Joe Bruin.
Joe Bruin. You literally bring the entire independent wrestling circuit together. You literally do that every year. And what bad can you say about that? I mean, there's nothing bad to say. I don't know Joe Bruin too close, but he literally brings us all together. I'm shutting that off.
He's a great guy. You brought him up too early a couple times, even before we started doing the show. Sweet Scott Ashworth.
Sweet.
And do you have impersonation of him? Because a lot of people do that. How
I
he
am
talks.
not. I can't do the strut. I don't know. Nobody does the strut like Ash does the strut. And
No,
even if you
but
try.
when he talks, though, the way he talks.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no. But seriously, Ash is Uncle Ash, and that's Pop's best friend in the business, and like Brandon is. Brandon is my Ashworth, and they always will be. But Ash is amazing. I had 2 really good matches with him and 1 absolutely hilarious match with him.
Yeah.
But no, Ash is the best. Ash is the best.
Was he always Scott Ashworth when you wrestled him, or did you wrestle him when he was a Doink once in a while?
Nope, never get to
Doink?
wrestle him as Doink. No, I actually never wrestled Doink. Nope.
Okay.
I've been on many shows where he was, but, but I never wrestled him.
All right. Wreaking Havoc, Don Vega and Jose Perez.
Oh, man. You guys chop the hell out of me. And then you wonder why I chop everybody. You guys chop me so damn much. So Jose, another one. That's Uncle Jose.
Right.
Don Vega, I've had plenty of great matches with the guy. I have nothing bad to say about either one of them. I thank Jose and Pun for everything they ever did for me. Except for the times that you guys chopped me until I literally bled. You guys are chopped beasts, and I hated you for it. But now I do the same in return.
All right. I'm going to bring up another tag team. I haven't seen them in a while. I think one of the guys retired. Well, like you said earlier, they don't really retire, but he hasn't wrestled in a while. The Minutemen, Tommy Trainwreck and Devin Blaze.
Oh, my goodness. What to say about... I molded those guys, actually. Me and Chris Cruz molded the guys like Jason Devine, Ricky Medeiros, Mike Montero, Tommy Trainwreck, Devin Blaze. Those kids were they were a group of Fall River kids that didn't have much at the time. And we were literally taking them to Kennedy Park and teaching them how to wrestle because they didn't have anything. So me and my buddy Cruz we'd just go over there and we just help these guys get to know the basics. We were bumping in the sticks and stones in Kennedy Park just because they wanted to wrestle.
Right.
So most of those guys, actually, you know what? All of those guys have done great things in independent wrestling, especially as of recently.
Right.
I know Blaze had stepped away, and Tommy Trainwreck I haven't heard or seen in years, so I have no idea what's going on with that. But I still talk to all of them guys, and they're all doing well, whether it's in real life or in wrestling.
Last time I saw them, they were working for Beyond.
Last time I saw them was Saturday, and we had a good old time.
Oh, at the wedding?
Saturday. I just seen them
Nice.
this past Saturday.
All right. How about, he goes by a couple of names now. Tripalicious, Trigger the OG.
Trippy. So I actually wrestled Trips in NECW when he tagged with Pat Masters, and when they were doing the whole thing with it was him, Jose, Natalia, Pat, and I actually got to wrestle him a long time ago. And Trips is so underrated, and I'm glad he finally is getting what he deserves in Chaotic and in XWA and wherever else he wrestles. The guy is putting on tremendous matches and always has, really. He knows his shit really good. Trips is awesome. Trips is the man.
How about one of his members also of his in Killanova, Christian Casanova. You know Christian at all?
I don't know Christian at all. I think I've met him a couple of times on shows that I've been on or went to or whatever. I don't really have anything bad to say. The kid's talented as hell. I tell you what, that kid can work. He's very talented, and he will probably see a contract real soon if he hasn't already.
Right. This is the first show since I did the Speaking Out episode. I don't know if you're comfortable or not or anything about it, but...
Oh, man, speaking out.
I mean,
so we all know, the speaking out thing. Good. I'm glad. The people that don't belong around here at all, that's fine. Some people, I think, kind of got a little edged out that shouldn't have. But then there's a whole list of people that aren't even on the list that should be. And it's like, I don't want to be the guy to out them.
No, I hate it.
But it's like you know too much when you're in the wrestling business. You know too much, and that's all I'm really gonna say.
Okay.
But to wean out all these dummies that don't belong here, great, love it. It's only gonna make us better.
Absolutely. Let's see, Maverick Wild.
Maverick Wild. Well, let's see. He was him and Pops were pretty much the same style. They wrestled pretty much the same way. They were both roofers. They're both fathers. They're both So pretty much, I don't really know Mav too much. I've met him, I think, a couple of times. But anything I've seen of Mav's is amazing. Really. The guy worked circles around a lot of people. He got a lot of big matches with a lot of people that did big things too.
Right.
Mav's awesome. He's a straightforward guy too. Whether you want to hear it or not, he's going to tell you. So there's nothing wrong with that. I appreciate the the brutal honesty rather than lying in my face kind of thing. So
Right. All right. I saw this guy Saturday at the show too. George Carroll.
George Carroll, Georgie. Well, shoot, I've known George a while now. I've been around the business long enough. Nothing bad to say about George. Always gives big hugs when you see him. Always gives solid handshakes and big hugs, and always supports you no matter what, and tries to help you out. And I have nothing bad to say about George at all. George is a cool guy.
I did the first show, man, and he hit me right up because I had asked him for a little feedback and stuff. He's just a great guy. I love George.
Wicked nice guy.
Todd Graham.
Todd Graham. All right, so I really don't know Todd too much on a personal level.
Right.
I don't think he's a bad person or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he did great with PG.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it because, for other reasons. But it's not that I'm not a fan. It's just that it's not my cup of tea kind of thing.
Yep.
But Todd, I have nothing really bad to say about Todd. He's Todd. And he's going to be a straightforward guy, too. I know he's probably coming on the show soon. I know he hit you up. I've seen that.
Yep.
And honestly, he can talk his ass off. So to have him here is not a bad thing.
He's been on, I think, 3 times already.
Yeah.
So I enjoy having a conversation.
I never really had a problem with anything booking-wise when he was booking. I had no real major problems. I had questions, but not problems.
Yeah.
He kind of didn't know me too well at first. So he was kind of wean on me at first. And then when I showed him what I could do, he was like, never mind, I changed my mind, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, at least, you gave it a chance before you said no kind of thing. Yep. So I respect him for that.
All right. Ryan Drew.
Ryan Drew. Oh, man. So me and Ryan Drew have a long history. Good, bad, mostly bad. I don't have anything bad to say about him now. Let bygones be bygones. We had talked about it many years ago. Yeah. He invited us to wrestle for Yankee Pro. I got to wrestle in the PAL Hall again. It's just, I thank him for that because that's memories I'll never forget. Right. And I don't have a problem with it anymore. So
nice. All right, Johnny Idol.
Johnny
Half
Idol.
of the Egomaniacs.
Johnny Idol. Jeez, I remember that guy wrestling so much. He was one of my favorite heels back then. Yeah. Just because he knew what to do to either piss you off or just do bad things, and you just knew it. You just knew who he was. And I liked Johnny Idol as a kid growing up. I didn't really know him too well. I just know he's a very nice guy anytime I've ever met him. But Johnny Idol was definitely a heel I remember.
Him and Mike Steele, they were
Mike Steele. That's literally where I was going. Mike Steele. That was one of my favorite heels. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were a great tag team. They really were.
Loved it.
How about Doc Heresy?
Doc Heresy. Oh shoot! I met that guy a long time ago, doing PLW shows. He's lost a ton of weight. Yeah. He's looking great. Yeah. That good for you, man. Good for you. Tell me. Well, I don't need to know the secrets. I just need to stop doing what I'm doing and do other things. But no, I have a very respectful guy, very nice guy. Yeah. I didn't really know him too well, but anytime I've ever been around him, super nice guy.
Yeah, definitely great guy. You had a bunch of matches with him, Michael Foster.
Mike Foster, Uncle Mate. Like I said, I love you, Uncle Mate. There ain't much more I can say about that. I miss you, and hopefully I get to see you soon.
Does he still live around here?
He's in Cape Cod. Cape Australia. Sorry, Cape Australia. Yeah. He's in Cape Australia.
Shay Cash.
Shady Shay. That's cousin Shay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
When he first was breaking into the business, he rode with us. Before, getting in bookings and stuff, that was all us. Right. We were helping him out. And I will literally wrestle Shay anywhere, anytime, any place. He is so good and so underrated. Yeah. It's not funny. That kid needs to be pushed to the moon everywhere because he can do it.
When Frank Champion walked away from
I know.
They were really starting to click big time.
Frank started a family.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah, Frank was starting a family and doing his thing. More power to you, Frank. Love you too, big guy. I actually powerbombed that guy.
Did you really?
I did. I run and powerbomb that guy. He's a big dude. He is awesome dude, though. But Shea had to start over after
Yeah.
that. He had to start his own singles thing. And dude, that kid is phenomenal.
Oh, he's doing great by himself.
That
He is.
kid is phenomenal. And I've had some great matches with that kid from the get-go, from when he first started to now. He's grown so much and gotten so much better. Shea, you deserve everything that you're about to get in wrestling, because you're only getting better, kid.
Trooper Gilmore, Jimmy.
Troop!
I've known him
I got to wrestle
probably almost
Chainsaw.
longer
I got to
than
wrestle with
anybody.
Chainsaw. I got to wrestle with
did you
Chainsaw.
really?
Yeah, before
Crazy
PWF,
Chainsaw.
before PWF closed down, we were doing the whole angle with he was joining John Poe and Kathy.
Yep.
And they were doing that thing, and he had come out, and we were making him be this crazy guy, and so I got to work with Chainsaw. I have nothing bad to say about Troop. He's always been kind to me, always been good to me, so
Same.
I have nothing bad to say about Troops. And your shows are amazing.
Absolutely. How about Brandon Locke?
Brandon Locke. I got to wrestle Brandon Locke once, actually, which is actually pretty cool. I was very nervous because, well, he's a Steve Bradley guy.
Right.
At the time, he was in, I would say, his prime of wrestling, and he was doing phenomenal things. So me, you know, he looked at me and goes, "You know how to wrestle?" And I said, "We're going to find out." And I don't think we had a great match. I think that was mostly my fault for being so nervous to wrestle somebody that I put so high on a pedestal.
Right.
But Brandon Locke was always a cool kickback guy, relaxed, always hanging out when, you know, he was around. But he was definitely one of the best at the time. I don't know if he's gonna come back after all this is over, but he was awesome.
All right, we got a little less than a minute and a half. Ronnie Ribs.
Ronnie Ribs.
Ronnie Ribs.
Nothing bad to say about that guy. I know a lot of people give him heat. I know he's a little crazy sometimes with his words and the way he thinks, but he's a good guy. He never did anything bad to me, so I have nothing bad to say about him.
All right, awesome. John Monroe.
John Monroe. I love you, Big Huey. I love you. I miss you, big brother. I really, really do. I know we live in Rhode Island and you live right down the street. We're going to have to hook up.
All right. AJ Hart. Is it Hart or Holt?
AJ Hart? Oh, that's Emilio.
Hart.
That's Emilio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's Squirrel Nuts. Just Albert Squirrel Nuts. Thank you.
Logan Chambers.
Logan Chambers. Judge, I love you, buddy. And I'm only allowed to call you Justin because I can, because you're not here and you're dressed in street clothes at home. Love you, big guy.
All right, we'll go one more name. Sean Leader.
Sean Leader, he helped me out in a really tight grind. Sean, you're a wacky dude, man, but you are very kind-hearted, and I thank you for what you did for us. That favor I asked you, I appreciate it greatly. Don't eat too many Rice Krispie treats.
Listen, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
No,
I definitely
thank
would
you.
love to get you, your dad, and your brother on sometime.
Hey,
something out.
let us know. I'm down. I am down. Thank you, Leo.
brother.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it very
No
much.
problem. Anytime. Guys, we're out. Peace.
Baker's number one.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.